Hey there, thanks for listening and welcome to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you're looking to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact, all while staying true to who you are and the people you serve, this is the show for you. I'm Jennifer Tamborski, digital marketing strategist, fractional CMO, and founder of Virtual Marketing Experts. My team and I work with 6- and 7-figure coaches, consultants, and online entrepreneurs who are tired of playing the guru game of one-size-fits-all marketing. They're ready to create a business and marketing strategy that actually builds relationships with their ideal clients, creates massive shifts in their business, and rapidly increases their revenue. As your marketing matchmaker, I'm going to help you find the perfect marketing match for you. This show will teach you how to reach your ideal client, connect with your audience, build that perfect relationship, and generate more revenue. All through a process I like to call dating your ideal client. Now let's go have some fun. Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. I really have had so much fun the last month or so putting on this series about profitable marketing. In reality, investments into your business should always return something on the end, which is why I'm focusing so much on the idea of your marketing being profitable, not just an expense. And I know there are things that we do or don't do that keep us really from having those results that we're looking for of creating that profitable marketing that will lead to leads and sales and generating revenue and increasing our business growth. And that's why I focused this last month on that topic. So the first week of these episodes was all about mindset. And I chose to start with mindset because 90% of the success we have in life can all be attributed back to our mindset. No matter what we're doing, whether it's marketing or life or business, having a mindset that is focused on that so that, we're never willing to give up. We're willing to learn and adjust and pivot so that we can continue to grow and scale our businesses is super critical. Week 2 was all about marketing beyond Facebook and social media in general. You see, marketing is a multi-layer effect, meaning that there are other pieces besides just being on social media and just running ads or even just having a funnel that are super important when it comes to the overall health of your marketing and your business. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that funnels are incredibly important to your marketing and that paid traffic can really pour the gasoline on what it is you're trying to accomplish in the world. And yet there are other things that you can be doing that will help support your marketing efforts and maybe even convert that looker into a buyer. Then the last week was what I called profitable marketing secrets. And while they're not necessarily secrets, because everybody in the marketing industry knows that, they also aren't things that people are telling you. And it's so important to be able to know all of the facts before you jump into something. Let's be honest here. If I tell you that you're going to create $1 million business in 3 weeks by using XYZ product, that is incredibly attractive to people. And yet there are things within that messaging that leave out stuff. And so last week's episode was about the things they leave out, because I want you to have a full, clear picture of what it is that it takes to market your business and grow it to those high 6 and 7 figures that you have been reaching for. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to those episodes, I highly encourage you to head out and give them a listen. I promise you will come away with some new thoughts and ideas and knowledge that you didn't have before. So today's episode is all about accelerating your profitable marketing strategy. Because that's what we want to do, right? Like, we want to figure out how to not just grow our business or start marketing, but we want to know what we need to do in order to really accelerate the success and the growth and what's next. So today we're talking about profitable marketing accelerating. And to get things off strong with your marketing, there is one key element that you need to have in place and 3 things to do that will really help you pour gasoline on your marketing and start to scale it in the right directions. So today we're going to start with the one key element that you need to have in order to really have effective marketing and be able to accelerate it in the direction you want it to go, right? To grow it, to scale it, to start bringing in those consistent leads and consistent revenue so that you're able to grow to those high 6 and 7 figures in your business. So that one thing is all about knowing where you want to go. The reality is when it comes to marketing and business, it's not just about having goals of a revenue goal of making 6 figures, because your marketing may not be just about creating revenue. Obviously, the end goal is to create revenue, because if we don't have revenue, we don't have a business. We have a really expensive hobby. So in the long run, that's the goal. However, each piece of your marketing should have a benchmark or an end goal, something to reach for. And you need to know before you start marketing what that is. If you are running, let's say, awareness campaigns because you really want people to know who you are and what your brand is, there are different benchmarks along the way to know whether or not that is successful. But if you're running an awareness campaign and you're expecting to get $500,000 in sales out of that awareness campaign only, that's not likely going to happen, because what you're doing, the marketing effort you're putting in, is not directly correlated to the end goal. So each of your marketing pieces, each of your campaigns, each of your activities and your goals need to have a specific reason to do them. By knowing what the reason is for that, you're better able to recognize whether or not that marketing effort is working. If you are, let's say, trying to get leads coming in, lead generation, and you're running paid traffic, knowing how many leads you want to bring in and at what price point you want to bring them in can help you effectively decide whether or not that campaign is working. On the opposite side of that, off of digital marketing entirely, if you're networking and you want to bring in leads, you can also look at that. How many people am I connecting with in this networking group? How many leads am I getting? Is this networking group effective for me? Really knowing and understanding that is going to help you know and understand whether or not your marketing efforts are working. And when you know that, when you know something is working, then you get to do more of it and less of what's not. But if you don't know what the goal is of that marketing effort to start with, you can't really understand how to make it grow and scale and really accelerate. So that, I will say, is the key element to really making your marketing grow and scale and accelerate. Now, within that, there are also 3 things that you really want to have, know, and do when it comes to accelerating your marketing. We're going to start with one of the most important things in your business, and that is your messaging. So when we talk about messaging, we are talking about more than I help women lose weight. That's a great message, and it's not something that's really going to connect with your ideal audience. It's not something that necessarily is going to make them go, I have to buy from you instead of Susie over here. And that's what we mean by focusing on your messaging. You want to be really clear about what it is your ideal clients need to hear in order to be ready to buy from you. Because depending on when they come in, they may be at different stages in their problem. They may not know they have a problem. They certainly may not know who you are. And they definitely don't know that you could be the solution to that problem. So your messaging needs to connect with them at every level of the customer journey. And it is super important that you spend some time on this. Now, I have suggested in the past, and I suggest this a lot to a lot of my clients, which is interview your past clients to know where they were at when they came to you. That will help you to get clarity on what your messaging is. I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day. We were networking, and obviously he introduced himself, told me what he did. I introduced myself, told him what I did. And we were just talking back and forth about business. And he was telling me where he was at in his business. And one of the things that I asked him, I said, have you interviewed your past clients? And he told me he had, and that they had really made some great testimonials, which, by the way, bonus, is a super important piece of marketing. However, not the point of this conversation. When I asked him what his ideal clients thought, felt, how could I refer to them? How could I refer someone over to him? And he said, they just feel out of alignment with what they're doing. And while that's a great term, it may not be completely drilled down enough, right, into what is it they're struggling with right now. Like, it's not so much about poking at somebody's pain point, because that's just annoying. It's really about opening their eyes to what they're struggling with. I told a story when I first started growing my business. I was a solopreneur for a very long time. One of the reasons that I started growing my business and looking for a coach to hire was because my kid came to me. She was about 12 and said, Mom, can I book some time on your calendar? Right? Which right there told me that I wasn't doing something right. I was spending way too much time working, not enough time with my family. And when I said that to him, he kind of had a light bulb moment of, oh, like there are other things other than being out of alignment that we can talk about, whether they're not feeling well or whether they're not connecting with their family. Are they working 90 hours a week? Is that becoming exhausting and overwhelming? Those are the kind of things that you get to open your audience's eyes to, because those are the things that relate to whatever problem you solve. But you won't know that unless you take some time to really interview your clients, see where they were at, so that you can help your future clients get there. By interviewing your clients, you'll start to see a pattern of things that a lot of them have said. And when you see like 80 of them say, I just feel out of alignment, or 90 of them say, I don't want to transfer these weight issues to my kids, or whatever that thing is that they're saying to you repeatedly, that is the message that you need to start creating and implementing into your business. So your messaging becomes critical to really accelerating the growth of your business. The next piece of this is all about consistency. So number 2 of the things that you have to have in order to grow your business and accelerate your marketing is consistency. I see so often, not just clients, but friends that start marketing, and they'll market for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, and then they fill their calendar and then they stop marketing. Here's the problem with that. When you stop marketing, you aren't continuing to bring in leads. And if you don't continue to have leads, what happens when one of your clients decides they're good, they don't need your services anymore and they're ready to move on, and then you have an opening and you don't have anyone to fill it? Or if you're decide to launch a group program or something like that, if you haven't been marketing consistently, it takes time to ramp up and to start bringing in consistent leads that get on your calendar over and over and over again. By the starting and stopping of your marketing, you are delaying your growth. You're delaying the acceleration that you could have in your business. When you consistently market your business, and that could mean running ads, that could mean networking, that could mean, being on social media or having a podcast or whatever that thing is that you're doing every week to get new leads in the door, is going to help you pour gas on your business when the time comes. Let's say that you are a coach and you've been doing one-on-one coaching now for, 5 years, and your calendar has been incredibly full for that whole time, and you're kind of exhausted by coaching 12 hours a day, right? It takes a lot out of you. The only way to create that group coaching model, which is generally the next step, or even that online course that you wanted to create, is to have people already in your funnel that are ready and able to buy from you. It is going to save you time, energy, and money when it comes to doing something like that. But if you are starting and stopping your marketing, people are forgetting about who you are during the time that you stop. Let's always remember that the attention span of a human these days is probably shorter than a gnat. I think it's like 2 seconds long, honestly, which means that if you're out from in front of them for longer than, a week or two, they've moved on. They've moved on to the next person. So keep consistently marketing, even when you're full, when you don't need to. When you don't need to market is actually when you need to market the most. The third thing that I want you to focus on when it comes to really pouring that gasoline onto your marketing, to accelerating your marketing efforts, is your numbers. Yeah, I know, I hear you. Numbers are sometimes scary or overwhelming, especially in marketing, because you just don't know what it is that you should be looking at. Here's the thing. We're going back to that one thing that you need, which is knowing where you're going. If you have a roadmap, just like when you're going to that new restaurant in the next city over and you are typing it into Google Maps gives you a roadmap to get there, right? And along the way, there may be goalposts along the way, like, oh, I know I need to go past this highway or turn left here. You understand where you're going and can get there. Without that roadmap, it makes tracking your numbers incredibly difficult because you don't know what it is that you should be tracking. When you have that end goal in mind, you know that if you're running a brand awareness campaign, you get to track how many people are watching your video and how many people are commenting on your post and, how many people are reading your blog. Whatever the thing may be, you get to look at that. And here's the thing about it. When you know what is working because you have the data behind it to support it, you can do more of that. If you know that 90% of your clients come through referral, then you get to network your butt off in order to get more of those clients. However, if you negate paying attention to that data, it becomes very difficult to know what's working. Then you're just guessing. You're guessing at throwing money to ads, or you're guessing at this networking organization, or you're guessing at posting on social media, or even doing a podcast without knowing that people are actually responding to what you're doing. How do you ever know if it works? That's where your data and your numbers come in. Knowing that kind of information will help you to do more of what works, stop what doesn't, or maybe start something new because something else popped up. Maybe an affiliate that loves who you are started advertising your product, service, or solution without you even knowing it. If you can see where your leads are coming from, you are better able to make a decision on what marketing efforts you should be pouring money, time, and effort into, which will accelerate your marketing and bring in more leads and sales. So I have a bonus topic actually for you, because I think there is also something about being brave when it comes to your marketing that people struggle with. There's a lot of fear that comes from putting yourself out there. And I get it. Believe me, there's a lot of people out there who are rude, who are ignorant, who make comments on things that just aren't going to be beneficial to anyone in the world. And yet, if you can be brave, if you can stand in who you are and stand out from everyone else, it makes it better and easier for your clients to also be brave, to also step into whatever it is they desire. Connecting with your audience because you are authentic in who you are and you are brave enough to stand up and say, this is who I am and this is what I do and this is who I help, allows you to have that connection going forward. It is incredibly uncomfortable, and yet we get to be comfortable taking risks when it comes to our business and our brand and our marketing. Be brave enough to take those risks. Creating a profitable marketing strategy is possible. I promise you that when you really focus on your marketing, you are able to better bring in leads, which eventually will convert into sales, which increases our revenue and helps us scale to those high 6 and 7 figures. Without leads, we won't get sales. And without sales, we don't have a business. We just have an incredibly expensive hobby. So really creating a profitable marketing strategy is going to help you create the business of your dreams in the long run. Now, if you're looking for help to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact, I am super excited to announce a masterclass that I am teaching on this very topic. So June 1st, I will be hosting the Tune Up the Volume on Your Marketing, Leads, and Sales Masterclass. You see, when it comes to the brass tacks of marketing, you need practical methods to really unlock that serious power that you can have to grow your business. In my new masterclass, you'll discover the marketing strategies that deliver the results you're waiting for. So head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and register for the upcoming masterclass. I promise you will walk away with actionable insights that will help you accelerate your marketing and grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.